Hey yo, what's good, boys? It's your boy, Mr. Fortnite, here today with another episode of Terrible Creepypasta. This episode, I've actually been wanting to do this story for a really long time. One of my favorite YouTubers, who is sort of the inspiration for this series, actually wrote this when he was younger. His name is The Shadow Reader. You should definitely give him a watch. He has really, really good content. He has a Creepypasta fail series. He's going to be bringing back the backyardigans. He's doing a bunch of stuff, and he only has like 7,000 subs because his old channel got deleted. So I definitely give him a watch if I were you. All right. Anyway, the story we're looking at today is called FReddys depressed.avi. And I guess he's really for real when he says this because FR is in all caps. So he really do be for real about Freddy being depressed. Okay, I know you may not believe me, but this is real. A few days ago, I was just sitting on my living room couch, just watching TV and eating popcorn. It was 3:30 in the morning, and I was going through some insomnia at the time, when all of a sudden the show Back at the Barnyard was announced on Nick at Night. I was a bit confused at this because, 1, it was early in the morning, and 2, the show wasn't supposed to air until 10 a.m. Well, even though I decided to watch it. Even though you decided to watch it, what? The opening theme song went by normally, but the only weird thing was that Freddy, the little orange ferret, was not in the song or in any of the scions, which kinda weirded me out. But I thought it was a bit of a mix-up, so I continued watching. Of course you did. Now, when the title card came up, it wasn't the old funny, weird-looking title that showed, but a gloomy, depressing scion with a picture of Freddy crying and the rest of the episode, and the rest of the animals with a horrific look on their faces and the words on the card saying Freddy's depression. Hold up, you changed the name of the episode within the course of a few sentences. Soon, the episode starts, and it started with Freddy in his little compartment just sitting there. None of the animals had shown up, and there was no music at all, just Freddy sitting there alone. Then that's when things got a little weird. About 10 seconds after the scion, music starts to play, and it wasn't fun or happy. It was depressing after a few moments in listening to the song. I knew it was a song from Evanescence called My Immortal. And then, while the song played, Freddy started crying, and not like the crying you normally see in cartoons, no, but a somewhat realistic crying. Then the scion cuts to black. My jaw dropped, and I wondered, what WTF is this? And then after the black screen faded, it cuts to a new scion. This time it's Freddy sitting at a desk with a pen, cal, and paper in his hands, and then he starts to write. And while he writes, he starts crying bitterly. At this time, I start to get a little upset. Why? Nothing happened. Then, after he was done writing, he got up and left the desk, and the camera zooms on what it said, and it shocked the hell out of me. This is what it said. Alright, I'm gonna do my best Freddy impression I can because it's been a fat minute since I've watched Back at the Barnyard. Dear friends, I am sorry for what I'm about to do, but I think it is for the best. My life has been a cesspool of hell, and I just want you to know you all caused this. Peg, my so-called best friend, you never cared or comforted me when I needed you most. You are my reason of what I'm about to do. Peg, you stupid son of a... You just sit there and call me stupid. But in some cases, you did conform me. But that does not excuse you for what I'm about to do. Bessie, you little... I hate you so much. You just sit there and insult me 24/7 and never take any consideration of my feelings. And you are the person that I'm about to... And the rest of you, just be prepared. I hate you all, Freddy. I was so shocked and scared at the same time. What did he mean when he said, get ready for what I'm about to do? I was so tempted to turn off my TV, but I had to watch the rest. Why did you have to watch the rest? Were you being held captive? Were you tied to your couch and forcefully, your eyes are just pried open and you're forced to watch Back at the Barnyard? After about 5 minutes of this, it cuts to Freddy, still crying and holding a knife, but soon it starts to get scary. He soon stops crying and he looks up. My face was locked in horror. His tears had soon become tears of blood, and his teeth looked like a rabid dog's would be like, and his eyes. Oh god, the eyes. His eyes soon became fully black, like he was possessed by a demon. And then we hear Otis and the rest of the gang get home, but when they see Freddy, their faces turn to pure horror-stricken fear. Freddy's just smiles and says in a demonic tone, "Let's get ready."
Ooh, what's about to happen here?
Then the screen cuts to black for about 4 seconds. Then the final Skion finally arrives, but the Skion is horrible, just like the story. If you have ever been in a slaughterhouse, you haven't seen nothing yet. It shows all of the animals horribly mutilated and bloody. Otis's was horrible. His stomach was cut open and all of his entrails were cut up and pulled 5 feet away from his body. Jesus Christ. Blood draining from his stomach to the middle of the floor. I guess he really had some beef with Otis. Then the camera points to Pig. His body was hanged upside down and nailed to an inverted cross. How do you inverted cross somebody? And his face was apparently peeled off of his body, and also his stomach was cut open and his entrails dangled a few feet away from his head, and on his head was carved an upside down pentagram with the word pig was in the middle of it. So wait, if it's an upside down pentagram, does that just make it a star? Then the camera pointed to a pot of boiling water, and when the camera looked into a pot, there was nothing but blood and little bits of organs, and a boiling head floated. I started to scream and then weep. I was so freaked out on what happened, sleep was out of the question. Then it finally zoomed in on Bessie. Luckily, she wasn't as bloody or as horribly mangled as the others were. The camera zoomed in a little closer, and it showed the word written, carved into her stomach, and it looked like her death was just suffocation. Thank goodness, but it confused me that he gave her a more humane death than the others. After a few seconds, you could hear faint crying in the background. It was Freddy. He was sitting in his stall, covered in blood and bits of feathers. Apparently, he ate Peck, but made sure Peck never got out of his stomach. As I saw Freddy, apparently he was crying, but not tears. Oh no, it was blood, and next to him was a dead priest with his robe. Where did that come from? Hold up. We are back at the Barnyard. I'm pretty sure the only human you would be seeing is like a milk. No, not even like. I only remember like 3 humans ever showing up in Barnyard. Why would a priest just... You know what, never mind. A dead priest with his robe on, but covered in blood. Freddy was crying his eyes out. You could hear him faintly saying, "I hate you, Satan, you dirty bastard." After a few minutes, the sound of a police car came and arrested the bloody animal. Then the Skion cut to credits. My face was shocked, and my eyes kept on widening. What had happened was the worst thing to ever happen, and ever since then I have tried to find the video and more info, but Google search showed no results. I warn you all, if you happen to see an episode titled Back at the Barnyard Lost Episode, or Freddy's Depressed on,
Do not watch it, or else you will suffer the consequences.
Yeah, this, you can definitely tell he was really young when he wrote this, and I'm gonna be honest, I wrote a creepypasta too when I was like 8, and I put it on paper, and I sensed, like, right after I wrote it, I basically crumpled it up and threw it in the garbage, so I have no evidence of it existing, but yeah, I've also written stories like this, and yes, this is just one bad thing that you made, but, I mean, at least it's entertaining. This felt like, and then just like the parts where he just like talked in all caps and started screaming at everybody for no reason. This was definitely a good use of my time. Thank you. Alright, that about sums it up. Definitely give his channel a watch. I hope you enjoy the video. yeah, y'all have a wonderful day.